And there's no use sitting in London if you don't go out to meet the people, people who are involved in tourism abroad, in other countries, that is. So I used to attend the ITB in Berlin, Svenska Mässen in Sweden, of course the World Travel Market, which is the second biggest. The ITB is the biggest. The World Travel Market is the second biggest tourism exhibition there is. And it gives you the opportunity to meet you meet tour operators, obviously, that's one of your main concerns. You try to get them to fly to the Gambia to bring tourists to the Gambia. And it also opens your eyes, so you see other countries. They exhibit, we used to have our stand and put out our wares, batik and carvings and give out information, but that was not just the end of it. You had to meet people, you had to go and exchange meetings and whatever. You'd go to meetings and exchange views, and it was very good. It was a very good exercise.
Now, for the sake of going back and to highlight or to put in the fore what is now considered history, who were the main tour operators at that time?
You had Coney, you had TOI, you had, of course, Thomas Cook, you had...
That's the British market.
Yep, British market.
Now let's look at the Scandinavian market, which was very,
like I said, you had Coney, you had TOI, you had... offhand, it's difficult for me to remember all of them.
Wings.
Wings, yes.
Club 33.
Yes, that's right. You're reminding me now. You see, they've all flown away. In fact, the other day in my hotel, somebody said to me, do you know Simon Spies?
Simon Spies.
I said, well, I don't know him personally, but I knew when he came to the Gambia, he lived a very luxurious life because he was a very rich man.
He was. When Simon Spies goes out, his entourage is made of most of the most beautiful women you can think of.
I didn't want to come down
7, 8, 9,
I wasn't going down that road. I was never going to go down that road.
That was Simon Spies, with a lot of money as well.
That's right, and he would have his ice bowl or ice bucket with his champagne and his caviar, and all the girls just doing his toes, massaging, and all the rest of it.
That was a rich man. Now, okay, when you look at broadcasting today and yesterday, what do you make out of it?
Oh, you've made tremendous strides. And that leads me to my next point. And I'm not just saying this for the sake of saying it. To be honest, I've been coming here every year. And there was a gap before I started coming to Gambia since I went back to the UK. On my first visit back, after about 14 years or whatever, the amount of progress that this country, my country, our country has made, in no small measure due to the president, and I'm not saying this, for any gratification or anything. This is a fact of life. Gambia has made tremendous strides. I don't care what other people, especially expatriates or foreigners, think of the Gambia. I love the Gambia, and I think we've come a long way, now, as opposed to when I left in the first place to go to England.
What is glaring to you? What can you see there?
The developments, the infrastructure. I mean, it's so difficult to pick on one thing, but there are so many things that I have seen. It's incredible. In one short word, incredible, honestly. I know there's still improvement going on, but from what I can see, we've come a long way.
Well, two things interest me most in the development stride that this country has taken. One is on education, and the other one is on health. I think the Gambia has made gigantic strides in that area, in those two areas today. I mean, you know very well how difficult it was for someone to send your child to the United Kingdom to go and pursue a university program. But today, I mean, just very recently, I think about 500 new intakes into the University of the Gambia, and I think that is really,
if I can let you into a little secret, talking about sending young Gambians abroad to study. My uncle, who was the former, he's late now, Director of Medical Services, Dr. S.H.O. Jones, when he was to be sent to the UK to train as a doctor, Everything was paid for by my granny.
That's my grandfather, by the way. Dr.
It's a small world, isn't it?
It is, of course.
Hence the name Jones.
Yes.
But I'm just saying, my granny paid for his tuition and upkeep, stay and everything in England. And I think he was, I can't say this with certainty, but I think he was one of the few and first Gambian doctors that we had. I was too young to know whether he was the first, but I'm just saying I think he was amongst the first few doctors that we had in those days.
What does it mean to you to stay in London and then shuttle from time to time to come back home and see? Nostalgia, or you've got your...
No, it's not just nostalgia. No. I come here because I love to come here. I mean, there are so many other places I could go to, but I come here every year. At least for the past minimum 12 years, I've been coming back every year. It's just the way it is, just the way I feel.
You contributed in tourism when you were very active, and I'm sure you see what is also obtained, what obtains right now in the area of tourism. What can you say on this?
It's difficult to...
The hotels, I mean, in abundance now.
Yes, there are many more
Quality hotels, by
there
the
are
way.
There are many, sorry?
Quality hotels now, five stars
of course.
along the road.
I mean, in those days there was nothing like the Sheraton or
The
Kairaba. They didn't exist. I mean, the first and oldest hotel was the Atlantic Hotel, which I frequented, I must be honest. Yes. But, you know, like, from my point of view, it's a bit difficult to assess because I don't frequent these hotels. I don't go them. I don't visit them. I don't go to these hotels. I only confine myself to my little hotel. So it's difficult for me to tell you how I feel about the hotels or their development or whatever. I mean, I was privileged also. I got a letter from the High Commission, Gambian High Commission in London last year, inviting me to attend this conference for Gambians in the diaspora, which was a very, very good exercise, I think. And I hope and I wish, in fact, at the end of the conference, I asked whether we were going to have one next year, which is this year. But unfortunately, we're not going to have one now. Well, not this year anyway. I don't know when the next one is. But I participated fully. I was there with the High Commissioner. When she came in her own capacity, in her official capacity, I came because I was invited. And it coincided with my visit or my trip to the Gambia anyway. But I was invited and I attended the full session of the conference.
Presently, you live in the African village.
That's right.
Well, that used to be owned by Kamal
Milky. Yep.
He used to be there also for some time now, alongside the Sunwing Hotel. Could you reminisce the days of Kamal Milky?
Yes, well, in fact, before it was called African Village.
It was called Club 98.
Precisely. And I have friends, they still live here, and I won't mention their names, that we used to frequent on a Saturday night.
Good.
Saturday night out with the boys. And it was great. It was great in those days.
The Hamudes and the
Yes. Amuti Diab and
exactly.
and Ahmed Diab.
Ahmed Diab.
Yes.
Good.
And I also used to visit, not frequently though, the Sunwing as it was then. Yeah, but no, I only went to African Village or 98 in those days on a Saturday. Because I'm Banjulian, as you would know, from Hagan Street.
Then you used to have the band Los Cangaceros, that Congolese band.
Right. They were very good. They used to play incidentally at the Adonis Hotel.
Adonis Hotel.
Which is, it's a pity. I went past it the other day. It's so dilapidated. It was a real shame.
Yeah. I think it's now with stores and anyway.
But, I'm just saying
it's amazing.
The building itself needs to be given a facelift, I think.
And the Wadna Beach Hotel.
That's the end.
Now it's almost
the
like
Fajara Hotel. These were all the hotels that existed in those days. Then you had, of course, the one near the prisons. What's it called now?
The Palm Grove.
Palm Grove, that's right.
Yes.
Yeah, you had all those in those days. Yeah.
It sends you some deep feeling. And,
no, it brings back memories. That's all. It brings back memories. And they're pleasant memories, very happy memories. I mean, if I'd had a tremendously bad experience in Gambia, I would never want to come back. Or even if I came back, it would be occasionally. But I try, and there are Gambians abroad. I wouldn't mention any countries in particular, but there are Gambians abroad. Some of these Gambians don't even